In a world of dungeons, dragons, and devious DMs, 4 adventurers set out to save the mysterious land of Blaelflow.
I'm Frank Bunty, Dwarven Paladin and all-round badass. I like nothing more than righting wrongs and smiting evil.
I'm Bonarail, a half-elf rogue that'll rob you blind and mess you up.
I'm Lord Sugar, a human wizard noble. I'm rich, I'm better than everyone, and I set fire to everything.
I'm Draco Justice, Dragonborn Monk. For when justice calls, who will answer? I will. I'm Draco Justice.
And I'm Doddy, the resident DM. I'll be throwing everything at these guys, including the kitchen sink. Ooh, a mimic kitchen sink.
Nerd OD&D from the Nod Network. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, and wherever else you get podcasts.
Generally, women find men 10% more attractive when they do have meat.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Nerd OD podcast with your 3 hosts this week, Dan.
And Reg.
And this guy.
Hey, that guy. How are you doing, guy?
3 hosts. Isn't that known as three hosts, otherwise known as throasts?
Three hosts and 1 pod.
Or host-uplets.
Host-uplets. Thruplets. We're a thruple. We are. This is the thruple episode.
Nice.
Silence. Crickets.
Well, Dan, at least you tried.
I got it. That took me a second.
Yeah, third time's a charm.
Seconds, but
that
I got
was good. That was good.
Yeah, but also if Reg hadn't have given it a sarcastic laugh, I don't even think I'd have realised it was a joke. I'd have thought it was a compliment, saying, "Yeah, well, you tried. You tried." Like, yes, I did.
More puns for you.
Yeah.
No puns for you.
No. How is everyone?
All right, mate. How are you?
I'm talking to the people at home.
All right.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. I know, yeah, COVID's tough on everyone. But yeah, snow, we got a bit of snow. Yeah, not loads though. What about you guys? I'm talking to you two now.
As in me and Sean?
Yeah, you two. Not our 2 listeners.
Right, okay, fair enough. I'll let Sean take over since we're about to.
I can't help but feeling our timing's a little off.
With what?
Like we're sort of...
You just did that
like
on
our
purpose.
timing's really bad.
Right.
Like we're talking over each other.
That's Skype for you. But yeah, it's January and we had snow. We didn't wait for February this year. How did everyone find the snow? Did everyone build a wonderful snowman?
I know you're trying to make light out of this situation, but personally I think it's snowed laughing matter.
Snow laughing matter.
Boy.
Can you boot someone out of a Skype call?
Ooh, bit of an icy response.
Oh, wow.
Look, just get frost, Sean. Yeah, well, annoyingly, I went onto my social medias and I saw all these wonderful pictures of people going, "Look how much snow we got! Oh, look at it's amazing." We had hardly anything here. Well, I'm situated sort of in the middle of you two, right? Sean, you're a bit further up north. Reg is a bit further down south. Reg is Wales, and Wales is it's snowing always if it's not raining, and yeah, Sean's a bit further up north, so it's a bit colder. It's almost Scotland, let's face it. So it's
wow.
Yeah, you guys get it worse than me.
Awful, but
no.
Wow. So I literally live on the cusp, whereas if you leave my house and go left, you're in Chester.
Yeah.
And you go right, you are in Wales. So,
but the clouds know that. The clouds know where the border is. Yeah,
our snow was pretty naff, to be honest. There was a smidge of it on the not enough for us to build a snowman.
Oh.
Like we tried, it had enough that if you go around across the floor of your foot and scoop it to a little mound, you make a tiny one.
But it would be really.
Our street is littered with snow people.
Nice. Oh, very politically correct.
Well, here's the thing though, right? Benjamin's discovered that he loves going out in snow, but hates having cold feet. So what happens is he comes back every now and again, sits on my knee, and it's freezing, and then just goes back out again. I want to try and get him some outside paws.
Is that like little gloves, little booties?
Yeah.
For cats. Oh.
Right, I thought you were just going to like get another set of paws and just surgically attach them every time it goes.
It's like changing the tires when it gets.
See, I've always wondered if he gets frustrated because he can't take his little boots off. But in this weather, I mean, the question's a moot point, I guess.
Maybe.
It was quite cool because it was the first time Oliver had actually been out in snow, so he was like, "What is this? Like, this is pretty cool."
It's like there's colour everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air.
I wonder if people have been catching up with Disney Plus this week.
In what way?
Oh, wow.
Are you just trying to segue into some sort of conversation?
Did you not hear it? Dan didn't get that at all.
No, what?
Oh, my word.
He wondered if anyone was watching Disney Plus.
Oh, I didn't get the wonder. I heard wonder.
Reg, can you do pun check, please?
I'm doing this. Hi, guys. It's been a pleasure catching up. I've been Reg. Bye.
Is that because you don't want us to spoil Wandavision for you?
It's because there's a level of punnery which is acceptable.
Oh, right.
And then there's our level of punnery which is just pure shocking.
Oh dear.
Well,
I'll be honest. I don't want to get too in depth talking about Wandavision when one of us hasn't seen it, even though I know you're saying, it'll be a while.
Honestly, please.
At the point that you've had the internet has ruined it for you, then maybe we can talk about it. But
it pretty much has episode for episode so far, to be honest.
Yeah, okay.
Although nothing's actually happened yet, so
no, but
there's no huge plot points. It's more about talking.
I don't know. It's kind of got to that now. I think I think they did a really good job putting 2 episodes out at the beginning to give people enough of a context to see, what it's about, what the main meat of the show is going to be about, and it is, going to be a Mickey take on different generations of sitcom. But then with the little hints of, okay, what's going on? Something weird's going on here. This is actually a Marvel thing. Because if they'd have shown the 3rd episode, I think it would have pushed it too far into like suddenly, right? Yeah, look, it is just all Marvel. So it's made you wait a little bit.
We're on episode 3 now, and there's not really been much hinted as to what's actually going on. We've had a few bits and pieces with that name and stuff, but
I disagree, because look at the ending, and this is minor spoilers, but the ending to episode 3 where the 4:3 aspect ratio goes into 16:9 and then goes into 2:35, whatever it is. I forget.
When it went from black and white to color as well. So
things like that. But that especially showed us outside of the world and showed us that it's not just something in her head,
but only for seconds. And
absolutely, but that's enough. That's all you want as a little tease at the end of the episode.
But that's what I'm saying is there's not much to talk about beyond speculation about what's going on.
Absolutely, that would be what it is. It is speculation.
Yeah. So what's interesting to me to talk, and what I wanted to talk about, was the Easter eggs of the nods to what we already know, because that won't be spoilers, and actually that might encourage Reg when he does watch it to look out for these bits, because I didn't get them until Reg. Remember when we were watching Westworld, and I would then watch there's a YouTube channel I watch called Emergency Awesome, who goes through the Easter eggs and the top 10 WTF moments, and then I'd message you and be like, "Oh my god, did you notice this?" And you were like, "No." And then we talk.
You sounded so smart, but you were just sitting there with the YouTube.
Oh no, he knew. But that's what I've been doing with WandaVision, and it doesn't take away from the show. It just gives you things to look out for, so you don't have to watch them again. So I think if anything, we might be doing Reg a favour by talking about the few bits that I want to talk about.
Fair enough.
So the first thing is, I love how they're taking the approach of copying what what's his name used to do, Paul Verhoeven, with Robocop and with Starship Troopers.
Okay, can we circle back to Robocop after we talked about this, because you just reminded me of something. But anyway, carry on.
But in Robocop and Starship Troopers, where they cut to an advert,
especially in Starship Troopers. Would you like to know more?
Yeah, so they do that in Wandavision, and of course they're doing it for other reasons as well. But I mean, I won't believe you if you tell me it's not heavily influenced by the directions that Paul Verhoeven went down 20 years ago, because it just
in as much as it's a way of sort of I guess showing you a bit more of that world and that era of TV with cheesy adverts.
So the first one, I mean, and it's all they're all references to the real
stuff that's happened in the films.
Well, stuff that's happened to her specifically. But the one I found really interesting, and I went back to it a couple of times, was the very first one where they're advertising that toaster. Mm-hmm. And the toaster has this little red flashing light. So it's an Iron Man toaster.
Bit of colour in the episode as well, isn't it? And it's a Stark Industries toaster, just to go to red.
But here's the thing, the noise that it's making, because the woman advertising it's looking really worried. She's glancing at the camera like, oh my God, shit. Even though it's like this happy, smiley moment of, look, there's a toaster. And the noise that it's making is the same noise that you hear in Iron Man 1 when Tony Stark has just been attacked, in the
bomb lands next to him.
The bomb lands next to him, and that the Stark missile makes that noise. That's the noise it's making. And of course, when you reference back to Ultron, she was talking about how Stark missiles used to land, and they would be freaking out as to whether or not they'd be going off or not.
Specifically, that they were in their house and a bomb hit, and it didn't go off, so she had to live next to this unexploded bomb for like a week until they could get out, until they could get saved.
But it potentially would have made that sound. And
yes, exactly.
That's. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Is those little tiny Easter eggs, like the other one when it goes into colour in episode 3. They're in the same house every time
they are, but the layout's always different.
The layout changes, it becomes more modern, so it goes from 60s to a 70s house. But the most recent one, the 70s house, when it was in colour, 70s/80s, they have this like glass mosaic, looks like a stained glass in the background, and all the colours of the bright stained glass are the same colours as the Infinity Stones. Did you notice that?
No, I've not noticed that one. So
this is what I'm talking about. If you watch it back again, there's just these little tiny bits. It's so good, and that's what I'm loving about it. Is so again, not to give away like spoilers and plot points, but the way that they're composing the TV show is sort of it's making you want to watch it again, exactly like Westworld did. Yeah.
Well, it feels like they've got a lot more to play around with, though. I'm sure there's an awful lot of stuff that isn't really that relevant to the overall thing, but it's very fun to think about and to notice.
I wouldn't need much storyline. Like I am heavily. Because we've talked about this before, I when I'm watching a film or a TV show, I get really easily immersed into it. Which is why I'll cry most times, you know what I mean, if something's emotional. So I really get into it when I'm watching. I made that point when I was watching Suicide Squad, remember? And it came up with the captions, came up with subtitles, because someone was speaking in a foreign language, but they used the Suicide Squad font, and I remember it specifically taking me out of the feel of the movie, and I was like, well, that was a bad choice. I'm now sitting here aware of the fact that I'm watching a movie. It's like pulling me out of the Matrix.
Oh, okay. No, I like when they do something different with subtitles.
But they've got to be careful with it, though, because if you're doing that in a moment that you're feeling in the moment,
maybe
it becomes a bit like what Daredevil was doing, you know, in the sense that this is just a film, but they did it really well. Not Daredevil, sorry, Deadpool.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Well, it's like in Heroes, the way, you know, they did it straight from the beginning. As soon as when Hero was in it, the Japanese guy, his subtitles sort of appeared. Every word appeared as he was saying it, and they all appeared where sort of speech bubbles would. They weren't just subtitles at the bottom of the screen, and things like that I really like.
Here's the thing, though, right? And talking about being engrossed, and have you seen what's it called? The guy's film about the why can't I remember things? It's an 80s film, Magic Dance. It's David Bowie's film.
Labyrinth.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Oh, God, couldn't remember the word labyrinth. You've seen Labyrinth, though, right?
Yeah.
And there's a scene in Labyrinth where she gets taken back to her room, and it's all over and it's all fine, and then all of a sudden something weird happens and they're still in it and the witch is there, and it's like you go from a scene that's really normal and fine and comforting to just something changes, but changes it enough to make you feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And that's what happened in Wandavision in the first episode, specifically in the scene where husband and wife comes over, his boss comes over basically with his wife. They're eating. He starts choking. No one's doing anything about the fact that this guy's choking to death, and the wife is just sort of nervously saying over and over again, but smiling, "Stop it, stop it."
Yeah.
Stop it. And I was like, oh, this feels weird. Like, stuff like that is just so engrossing to me and good.
But the good thing about the point of that was, it started out that she was talking to her husband to say, stop joking. And then the more she gets, she's repeating it. You're like, no, hang on. She's talking to Wanda. She's telling Wanda, stop this, stop what you're doing, because whenever anyone sort of does anything that's you'd imagine that she's not going to be happy with, that's when things start to fall apart a little bit.
But you don't know that yet.
No, it's very subtle.
Looking back, that kind of makes sense, but I remember watching it at the time and feeling greatly uncomfortable by what was happening, and the fact that they could make me feel that within 10 minutes is ridiculous. And I think, it's a shout out to the whole production crew, and one of the reasons why it's an annoyance, but why the show itself is only 25 minutes long, but if you look at the video file length, it's about 40 minutes long, and that's mainly because of subtitles and stuff at the end of it, because
I hate that.
so many people are working on it.
No, well, it's all the foreign credits.
Yeah.
It just repeats the credits at the end. I hate that Disney Plus does that.
It was the same as Olaf.
I mean,
Olaf we were excited about that because it was like 17 minutes. We thought it was going to be a short film. It was 6 minutes long. The credits were longer than the actual production.
Yeah. I mean, the Mandalorian was similar. There was a long credit sequence at the end, but the episodes sort of did vary a little bit. They weren't all less than half an hour. They seemed to be. There were some that were up to like 40 minutes or something. So it felt a bit better. I feel like a show like that, I want the hour or the 45 minutes with adverts. Hour show. But this, it says 33 minutes, 34 minutes, and you get to about 25 minutes, and it's like, right, that was the end of the episode. But I suppose with it being sitcom based, it makes sense that it's only that long.
But this is what I'm enjoying, right? I'm enjoying the just the feelings of what I'm feeling when I'm watching it in that short space.
And knowing you've got to wait a week to find out.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, that hasn't really bothered me. I get why they're doing that, and we've talked before about the advantages and disadvantages of like Orange Is the New Black versus Better Call Saul versus releasing everything on all at once, but and Westworld. But and I'm just enjoying the whole everything around the show, which is a lot of people are talking about what's going on. A lot of people are searching for Easter eggs. I'm also sitting here, thinking and reflecting on the emotions that it's made me feel just watching it, ignoring the storyline. And it's as big a deal for me at the moment as Saul and as Westworld. In the sense that they weren't just like TV shows that I'd watch every couple of days. They were, events that I was properly getting into. And I wasn't expecting to do that with a Marvel film, with a Marvel show, because keep in mind, whilst I enjoyed the films, I've never been a huge Marvel fan. I mean, I don't dislike it. Iron Man's my favorite, but the other ones I can take or leave. So I didn't expect to love this as much as I am.
Yeah. What I'm particularly hoping, anyway, I don't know how long this series is, but I know we've got Falcon and Winter Soldier coming in March. I hope each of the series they've got planned. So Loki after that, they're going to be sort of back to back, or at least within a few weeks of one ending, because I do like the idea of having a I do kind of like you said, I miss going, oh yeah, every Friday it's this show and every Tuesday it's this show, rather than just being like, oh, what are we watching now? Let's watch this series and then just work our way through an entire box set of a series over a few weeks. I like being, right, it's on, we need to watch that tonight.
Yeah.
So hopefully that keeps going.
What was the Robocop thing?
It was weird. I'm probably way behind on this, and I must be because this was 7 years ago. But obviously, you remember when they remade Robocop?
Yeah.
They did a new Robocop where Robocop was like black chrome, and it wasn't the original Robocop at all.
It was awesome.
What, you mean the 2012 film, 2013?
Yes, 13 or 14. It must be 13.
Had the guy who did the voice for Hiccup in How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay.
As one of the tech people, one of the little guys.
Makes sense that he always plays that sort of role. He either plays a guy in a rom-com who can't get a girlfriend and then gets a really hot girlfriend and then he doesn't know what to do with her, or he plays a tech guy. 2014
it was, sorry.
Yeah. But because the fans of Robocop hated that so much and hated that it was happening as it was happening, they decided they would put together their own remake. So do you know about this, Reg?
No.
Okay, good. It's not just me that missed this, because while I've not watched it all, what I've seen is amazing. So basically, they got something like, where are we, 30 odd, in fact 60 they split the script of the original Robocop into 60 scenes, and they got 60 different filmmakers to make each scene.
Oh, like they did with Bob's Burgers.
They had a celebratory.
I think it was 100th episode where they got all these art people to make a little tiny bit of the animation, and it was a whole different.
These were all like just YouTubers and stuff. These were all really low budget stuff, but it's amazing because like
it's still brilliant.
Some people have been so creative with it. There's a scene. So you know the scene where Ed 209, is it?
Ed 209.
So yeah, when he turns up in the boardroom and they're all having the office meeting.
10 seconds to comply.
Yes, that scene is done with the main boardroom guy is a puppet. There's a scene later on where every character is played by a baby. So these people have just got babies, put them in different costumes, and sort of held their hands up with guns and stuff like that, and talked over them. So said all the lines.
I need to watch this.
It's incredible. And
what did you do for the scene where he was covered in acid and he got run over?
I haven't seen that bit. I thought it was Robocop 2, but it must be number 1 when the guy gets his bits shot off.
That's 1.
It is 1. Okay, yeah. Well, it makes sense because it's in this.
First couple of scenes.
They've turned that into a bit of a comedy thing because all the criminals there, like he shoots the first guy's thing off, and then there's about 12 other criminals that are trying to then get away, and he just goes around shooting every single one of them.
Dan, if we're honest, the original was a bit of a comedy scene. Let's not.
Fair enough. Well, this is taken even further, but it's amazing. It's all on Vimeo. If you Google for our Robocop remake, it's called.
Saying I'm definitely going to watch it, but saying that it was definitely a comedy scene, that I can say that as a 39-year-old man, and keep in mind I haven't watched that film for about 10 years, so in my 20s I thought it was funny as well. But I remember when I first watched it, keep in mind I was too young. I was probably 9 maybe. Yeah. It wasn't a comedy scene then. I was fucking terrified. Yeah. But isn't that weird how like our approaches completely change from something being terrifying to being hilarious?
Well, video games desensitize you to violence, Sean. We all know that.
It was made as I would claim that Robocop was potentially made as a tongue-in-cheek comedy at the time.
There's definitely moments, I think. But overall, it's fairly serious.
I did see the funny side when I was younger.
Yeah.
I loved the film. I loved it. Absolutely.
It's weird. I wonder how many films they sort of, they start off like that, but then the sequels definitely were far more, on the nose. That I guess that's what they were going for. But I didn't realize. Right, I've never seen Rambo. Okay, any of the Rambos, they just don't interest me.
And I've heard
they're terrible. But I saw some. I think it was on Reddit recently, and someone was saying it's hard to believe that the original Rambo is just quite a serious, like, well done film about an ex-Vietnam vet who has got like post-traumatic stress, and he doesn't go around just killing 1,000 people in the Congo or whatever like he does in the second and third ones. And they just, it's like it was like with the Rocky films. He won an Oscar, or was he nominated for an Oscar? I think he might have won an Oscar for writing Rocky. Like, the first Rocky is a good, serious, decent film, but it just completely went off on like, oh no, let's just do these ridiculous boxing films now, and they just I don't know. He just completely lost the plot on them to the point where he's like, let's give him a robot. Why don't we bring a robot into it? Yeah, let's bring some massive Russian guy.
Bloody love the robot.
Yeah, everyone loves that robot, of course. Do you know what everyone doesn't love? People don't like Jar Jar Binks, right?
I mean, I think it's growing on us. I think he was definitely more disliked in the.
There is an age. If you were born before a certain year, I feel like, there's this. I remember getting a Reddit post saying that people were saying if you were this old when you saw The Phantom Menace, you like Jar Jar Binks. If you were older than that, you didn't. So you can tell now the people who are like, 28 and older still hate him. But anything younger than that, generally, people love it.
See, I got bored of hating him, I think. That's what happened to me.
Have you watched the film recently, though?
No, I think that's why.
So I watched it yesterday again. We're working our way through the Star Wars films. We did Return of the Jedi a couple of weeks ago.
I don't think I've seen all of them,
No? All right, wow. So, I mean, to be fair, I think I've only watched, even though it was the best of the the prequel trilogy, I've only seen Revenge of the Sith like once, because I started years ago. I bought the box set and I watched the first one. I was like, all right, that wasn't quite as bad as I remembered. And then started watching the second one and couldn't get through. I got to the bit where he's moaning about sand and how he hates it. And I just stopped. I couldn't do it. Couldn't get any further. So I don't think I got to the third one again, even though I remember watching it at the cinema going, all right, there we go. Finally, he's done another good one. But I had a feeling that, Shell's watching them for the first time. My partner's watching them for the first time. And I thought she'd probably like this one because it's got quite a few decent action scenes in it. You've got the pod race, new sets of characters.
Oh God, do you remember how much they milked the pod race?
Absolutely, but that's the best bit of the film. Actually, the second best bit of the film is the pod race. It is really, really exciting. It's really well done.
Pod racing games.
Absolutely.
They were great.
The pod race game
was
is
not
great.
a fan
The N64.
of the films, but the fucking pod racing game was fantastic. Really,
but that bit in the film is quite exciting. It's I don't know, it's well done. The other bit that I really like, which just it's bizarre because the rest of the film is so, I don't know, I think it was George Lucas did direct this one, didn't he? And the most of the film, it's fairly poorly done. But then you get to the fight scene between Darth Maul and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn. And there's the bit where they go into the corridor with the force fields. Do you remember that? So there's all these, there's like about 5 or 6 force fields down this corridor, and they're open, and then they start fighting in them, and they're running through, and then suddenly the force fields come in and they stop. And it's there, it's going to be, the force fields are going to be on for a minute or two. So Qui-Gon Jinn just sort of puts his lightsaber away and just kneels down on the floor and starts meditating. And Darth Maul puts his lightsaber away and he just starts pacing. And that scene's brilliant. That's such a well done scene, and it just stands out from the rest of the movie because nothing else is as good as that. And then suddenly the force fields open, they start at it again, and then Obi-Wan starts running through right before he gets to the end. Exactly, Duel of the Fates. Then the force fields shot again, and then it's those two fighting on their own, and then spoilers.
I don't remember any of this.
And it's so well done. That's brilliant.
And then there's dragons. And
yes.
There was...
But I was very disappointed at how many times Shell laughed at Jar Jar Binks. Literally almost every single time he was on the screen and he would say a funny word, she'd laugh.
I mean, that's what they were going for, though, right?
Yes, exactly.
So divorce is imminent, right?
Is it like, I don't know, is it the age of it now? It's just like, has it gone full circle, and now suddenly Jar Jar Binks in his funny accent is funny?
Maybe just lockdown is getting to us.
Isn't funny.
Maybe in a world where we're all locked down, Jar Jar Binks is funny.
Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, she is the right age for it in the that cut off that I mentioned, but she didn't see it the first time around, so I don't think that applies. So I don't know. But
I'm with Simon Pegg on the entire thing.
Oh yeah, when he nearly beat that kid up in space. Yeah.
Oh right, it's okay.
And he's like, you can take all your 50p's and get out. It literally is. The whole prequel trilogy is just, hey, we need to make some toys because we need some money. Like, how do we do this? This is how we do it. We create lovable scamps that we think are going to love.
Yeah.
Turns out, I don't like the amount of hatred he's getting, like the actor gets, and like the death threats and everything he gets. The fact that he's now had to go out of acting and into hiding since
the kid Anakin.
No, the guy who voices Jar Jar Binks.
Oh right, Ahmed Best.
Yeah, like the amount of.
But I think that's sort of gone round now, because he did you I've never seen it yet. I don't know what it's on over here, but it was almost like a Crystal Maze type thing for kids. It was like this Jedi training academy, and he presented it not as Jar Jar Binks, as some Republic.
That's probably why.
Yeah, no, but I remember seeing the trailer on YouTube a couple of years ago and being like, if I was a kid, this would be the greatest thing that anyone's ever put on television. It looked amazing. It was so well done. You know, all the kids were there dressed in their Jedi robes, and they had to do all these little challenges, and it just looks so good. But like I say, I don't know what it's on. It's probably on YouTube somewhere. I forget what it's called, but it was interesting that they got him to present it.
Unpopular opinion, I don't think we would have got the Marvel movies in the same form that we've got them if it wasn't for the bad Star Wars movies.
In what way?
Just because they gave an appetite for it at the right time. Because keep in mind that, and they were talking about this on this show I was watching, where Marvel tried years ago to have a TV franchise, like back with Incredible Hulk and stuff, with what's his name doing it, and like there just wasn't an appetite for it. And then we had the Star Wars films, and then the landscape took the look that it did, but with the bad part of the trilogy came just in time for people to be like, well, this is an option. There is there is an audience for this kind of stuff. Let's have another go.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you look at Marvel films over the years, they've never stopped making them. I mean, that's why we've got, there's been, like you say, Incredible Hulk, but there's been about 4 incarnations of Incredible Hulk. That's why we're on about the 6th version of Spider-Man.
There's never been the popularity that we got with with this series of films from Iron Man 2003.
But I think that's then the opposite. I don't think that's because of Star Wars. I think Star Wars is how it is now because the Marvel films have been such a success. That's why everyone has been trying, and no one's managed to do a connected universe yet. Everyone's like, this is where it's at. Star Wars is the only one that's really succeeded because it can't fail. I know people say that Solo was a bit of a flop, but it wasn't. But regardless of whether it was good or not, it still made Disney a bunch of money.
Oh,
I don't think they could make anything Star Wars and not have it be a success, but they wouldn't be doing all these other versions like, Star Wars stories and spin-offs and like a whole new trilogy if it wasn't for the Marvel movies setting a precedent for it.
See, I think one born the other. Like, when was the first Iron Man out? Was that 2007?
Roughly, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Which was after the
Quite a
the
long
second,
game.
which is after the second part, the second trilogy ended of Star Wars, right?
Quite a while after, I think. Well, a few years.
See, I think
it was 99, 2001, 2003, I think, was it?
I just think it gave people a taste for it and gave Marvel the go ahead to be like, right, let's do this properly.
Because I'm sure, like,
I don't think Star Wars.
Was I still in school when Attack of the Clones came out? Not Attack of Revenge of the Sith came out.
I don't know. I think I was.
So I had.
Christ.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that.
So, interesting story. Day before, I had a Zoom call with some of my old school friends that I haven't spoken to for a good 20 years. And we were reminiscing. Now, keep in mind, I left school in 97, I think, 98 would it have been? Yeah, just before 2000, because in 2000 I'm pretty sure I was in sixth form. And there was some stories told that I completely forgot about that I was mainly involved with, that reminded me that my life in school was basically the In-Betweeners. And it's weird because you watch the In-Betweeners and you think this couldn't possibly be real life, but no, it was. I went into school with a briefcase one day because I couldn't find a bag. My auntie sent me in with one. When I first started school, completely forgot about this, they got one of the kids to show me around for a day, and because of the fact that he didn't want to, he spent the whole day trying to get rid of me. Like exactly the same events that happened to what's his face in the In-Betweeners happened to me. It's fucking crazy.
Which one were you?
I was the guy with the glasses.
Will.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's loads of other stories, but I mean, I just wanted to point out that I find it really weird that my if you were to do a documentary of my life, you'd probably get sued. For violating intellectual rights of Channel 4. I think that's really weird.
You didn't violate anything. You lived it.
Yeah, I lived it.
You lived these moments.
To the point where
the thing is, if this...
the riots was in my school just watching me.
Well, let's say In-Betweeners didn't happen and your life was transplanted 20 years later... Yeah. All this would have been on film because it would have been like TikTok would have been full of hilarious antics that you were getting up to.
To the point where I actually had a crush on one of my best friend's sisters, and they all used to take the piss out of me for it, and that happened in the In-Betweeners.
I think we all had that. Well, it wasn't my best friend, but I think we all had that one, which is always good.
I had a Zoom call yesterday.
Well,
just a nice little segue. So we took part in an online cooking session with Hyper Japan and Otofuku, who are a Japanese food company. They make all sorts of ingredients, sauces and stuff. And we got basically sent. There's a video coming out of all this soon, by the way. But we got sent a kit from Otofuku, which had everything we needed to make okonomiyaki, which is the thing. Do you remember I made it for you that one time, Sean?
I remember it very well, and I've been sad that I haven't had it since.
Well,
me too.
We've pretty much perfected a good vegetarian version now as well. So when we're allowed to. But yeah, we got sent this box. It had the big bottles of sauce. It had the seaweed needs to go on the top, the mayonnaise. It had flour, everything, and it added this amazing. I've got a proper Otofuku okonomiyaki apron now, plus the little they're called heras, the little spatulas that you use to cook it. It was amazing. It's awesome. I'm made up that they let us do it. So yeah, we spent yesterday learning how to properly make okonomiyaki. And do you know what? We make it fairly regularly at home, but we found now what we've been doing wrong, and it was so good, so good. But like I say, you'll see a fun video coming out in the next couple of days. I'm in the process of editing it.
So this conversation has just reminded me what Ed's podcast idea is. He wants to do a thing where he shows his Japanese wife stuff and just films a reaction, because apparently it's mostly priceless because she's only been living here for about 3 months.
Right. That sounds like a YouTube channel's worth.
I mean, I'm excited.
As long as it's not too xenophobic.
I mean, we're not laughing at her.
Just with, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. If she's involved, I'm sure she can.
I mean, she's very much consenting.
Yes, exactly. Sounds good. Get him to put a pilot together. Send it through.
Apparently, the other day she was singing. Do you remember "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared"? Mm-hmm. I'm sure I've made you watch all of them. The computer one, episode 3, I think it was. And she got the word wrong, so she was singing "I'm a computery gay."
What is the word?
I'm a computery guy.
All right. Nice. Beautiful. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm up for watching a pilot of that. Could always do with some more shows.
1,000,000%.
Exactly. Now, the other day I got an email from my dad, and it just said "Blast from the Past" and had an attachment. And every now and again he sends me through stuff like this. He must just, I don't know, see
like
every now and again looking through. Well, no. This was legitimately from him. Just trying to find the email.
Hey Dan, do you remember this floppy disk of Sam Fox Strip Poker that we used to play? Like what?
Right, here we go. Found it. So apparently, when I think I must have been 16, something around then, because I can tell from my voice. And yeah, I can't remember, but it must be around then. But I was on the radio for it was Radio Merseyside, so good old local Liverpool radio station.
Your dad sent me this.
Did he send you it?
I'm sure we played it on the G.E.E.K podcast.
Oh no, I know what that was. That wasn't this.
Oh right, okay.
No, so this was just like if there was a quiz thing. Basically, it was I think it was called Schools Out or something, and it was during the school holidays, and they got someone to represent one school and someone to represent another school, and then we got asked questions and we had to shout out, red or blue, depending on who knew the answer. It was like buzzing in to win a prize. And let me just, I'll play it. I might cut it down for when we actually post the podcast, but it's I'll let you listen to me. Hold on.
Percy, are we ready on our next competition?
We're ready on Schools Out, Billy.
Schools Out?
We're going across to Neston first on the red line, and we've got Daniel Sandsman.
Hello. Hello, Daniel.
Hi.
How's things?
All right.
Okay, now, what school are you representing, Daniel?
Neston County High.
Neston County High. I love doing this, like working in the bank.
I just want to say I'm a man of very few words.
I've noticed.
You kind of reminded me of Tina from Bob's Burgers.
Okay, I get that. Yeah, I am very much through it. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. All right, okay.
I can just imagine him asking you a difficult question, and you're just going to start going,
Just wait. Just wait till the football question.
Oh, brilliant!
Okay, Daniel, your name's written down here. What would you like for Christmas?
I don't know, maybe some computer games.
Computer games, eh? What computer have you got?
PC.
A PC. Good one.
What computer have I got? I've got PC. Oh, it's a good one, that.
I think he means like, is it Amiga? Is it Commodore? Was that the time?
Back then, probably yes. I think that's probably right. But at the same time, he did not. He does not know what an Amiga or an Amstrad or an Atari or any of those are. BBC microcomputer.
Listen, he's trying to be cool. He's trying to be down with the kids.
Maybe.
He's probably about 200 now.
All right. Thanks, Daniel. Hold the line now, and we'll talk to. What's the other lad's name?
And I was Daniel back then. I don't remember when I changed from Daniel to Dan, but I remember at some point I definitely went by Dan, and before that I was Daniel. Strange.
Oh,
Yeah.
But Daniel is red, Bill. He's on the red line. He is red today. And on the blue line is a young lady, Casey. Let's go to the second name.
Casey, anyway.
Bill, yeah.
Hello, Casey.
Hello.
How's things?
Fine.
That's good. You got a cracking voice there.
You know
What does that mean?
I'm gonna beat her into the ground, right? I'm gonna.
What does he mean? What does he
got
mean?
a cracking voice there, lad.
Jesus
I
Christ.
think it's because she sounds excited to be on the radio, and like Dan, who's like,
Dad.
I've got a PC.
Yeah.
I'm being forced to do this at gunpoint.
On the radio just said I had a nice voice.
Yeah, you couldn't say that now. There's
Back
no
then
way
you were
can say
allowed
that
to say
I'm only 9. Jesus Christ.
You sound like a good singer to me. What school, Casey?
McGull High School.
McGull High School. Okay. You're blue. So Daniel is red and Casey's blue. So when I say, what is it, kids? You go red, blue, whatever, as quick as you can, and you get the first chance of answering the question.
Which I want to say is the worst way to run a radio call-in quiz, right?
I mean, we've done worse.
Yeah. I think we try and make it a bit more professional than that.
I can see some of the origins of the games that we played in our podcast coming out.
Gee, thanks. I mean, wait till he gets his kazoo out later.
And, okay. Questions, Percy, please. Three crackers here for Christmas Eve competitors. First one.
Oh, it's Christmas Eve.
Right, kids, here we go. Who is John Aldridge?
Red.
Who is it, Red?
Football player.
Football player. A bit more.
Oh.
What about him?
If you can't guess,
Liverpool football player.
That's all I've got. Football. I know it's got something to do with football. I don't know anything more about football. Just listen to the. You can pretty much hear the cog in my head. I'm like, if any of my friends listening to this and they hear I don't know anything about football, my life is over.
Liverpool. I think. I don't know. I'm not into football. So.
I'm not
He is
into
a football
football.
player, yeah. It doesn't say that here, though.
I don't think we can accept football player. We're looking for football manager, actually, Daniel.
We'll give him it, yeah.
He's a player manager, you see, Bill.
Right, can I just say?
Yeah.
Play for Tranmere.
Can I just say, right? The way you said, I don't really know football. I felt so sorry for you. I'm feeling emotions I've never felt for you before, Dan, and one of them is empathy.
Well, you never felt that for me before.
Well, not as much as I just did when you said, I don't know much about football.
Back in the day, that was very important. A kid at school should really know about football.
Carry on.
All right. Maybe that was just my school. I don't know.
Daniel, but he was a football player and still is, and when he goes on now, he still scores, doesn't he, Percy? Yeah. He's a cracker. He's a cracker. All right, well done, Daniel. You're still there, Casey, aren't you?
Yep.
Oh, don't you worry, love. I'll get well for you. Don't worry.
I swear, by the way.
So creepy. It's so creepy.
Yeah, I swear they put me on mute for this next bit. By the way.
Really?
Oh, I'm pretty. For some reason, I have this really small memory of thinking I can't just beat her in 2 questions. I need to be nice. I'll let her have one question. So I didn't buzz in for the next one. I let her have it. I have this vague memory of that, but I don't know.
Now, 2 children born together are twins. 3 children are triplets. What are 4 children born together?
Blue.
I heard blue first.
Quad.
In fact, now I hear it, you can hear blue and red at the same time. She's just louder. She's like, blue! And I'm like, red. Oh, yeah, red.
Casey, well done. Hooray!
Yeah. And I'm sorry, it's quadruplets.
That's what I said.
Not just quads. Honestly.
A lot of people in that radio studio, isn't there?
But she didn't get a little jaunty folk tune playing in the background with her applause. I did.
Doing well on a Christmas Eve. Okay, we get mutton from lamb, beef from cows. From which animal do we get bacon?
Red.
Pig.
Oh, that's quick, isn't he? He's quick. He's all I got. Red. Yeah. Oh, very confident there, Daniel. What do you think, then?
Pig.
Pig's correct, yes.
Yeah. So you need one word, pig.
Good one, eh, Percy?
Excellent. Speed was incredible there, Bill.
It was, yeah.
Speed was player Bill.
Wow.
The speed of him making noises out of his mouth is very, very, very fast there, Bill. Honestly. But now what you're going to find out is how corrupt BBC radio was back in the day.
Oh, God.
Like, they would never allow anything like this nowadays. Remember that whole fiasco of people, I can't remember what show it was. Was it Blue Peter or something like that faked it? They put one of their... they put a member... No, it was Radio 1, wasn't it? They put a member of staff on to play the quiz, so they didn't have to give the prize out. So then, ever since then, it's always been like, no, like, quiz shows and competitions have to be absolutely 100% above board. So
he's a good footballer as well, isn't he? So Daniel actually won, Katie, but I'm going to give a prize as well.
Well, I say give Katie the tie-break question, but if she gets it, I will give her a prize.
I thought you were going to say give her the duck then.
It's not fair. No, I won. I get a prize.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. There we go, lovely.
What's Christmas Eve, mate?
I don't care.
What does he do?
He makes a dummy talk.
That's right. I know a few like that, don't you? Can you make a dummy talk?
Honestly.
Yes, just hang on. I've just put my hand up, Percy.
Say something, Percy.
It's just, this was daytime Radio Merseyside. It's just.
I have a quick question.
You did still get a prize though, right?
When you would,
I don't remember what, so don't ask me.
when you were saying then there was like this big like conspiracy, I thought they were about to bring some presenter pretended to be a 12-year-old, be like, "You're okay, I'll answer some questions," and then he would have won it. But you just talk about they're being nice to a girl that they potentially just sexually abused over the phone.
It's teaching her bad life lessons to be like, look, you didn't win. You technically you came last, but we're gonna give you a prize anyway. It's like, here is the prize for, participation. And I bet she got the same prize as me. I wish I remembered what it was, but now...
You'll have to message your dad for next week, because we need to know now.
Exactly. But also, I've definitely talked about this, but I was on a TV show called Reactive, which was... Again, it was on In the School Holidays. It was presented by a guy called Rick Adams. I don't know if you remember him. He used to present Nickelodeon. It was on BBC, on CBBC.
I remember the name.
And you used to play basically games. You'd play video games over the phone, and then you'd win prizes. And I was on this one. And the name of I can't remember exactly what it was, but the name of the segment I was doing, it was like pick 3 or something like that. And they said, we're going to give you 3 choices of prizes, and we're going to give you 3 choices of games to play. And that was what they pitched it as. And so it was like, okay, you can either play Clockwork Knight on the Saturn, or you can play Daytona USA, or you can play, I can't remember what the third one was, but I definitely remember being Clockwork Knight and Daytona USA, and a third one. And that's how they announced it on TV. But before I went on the phone, they said, right, so we're going to say that you get 3 options, but because it's the first time we've done this, you're going to need to pick Daytona USA if that's okay. So just pretend. And I'm like, yeah, okay, it's going to be on TV, of course, yeah, great. Corruption at the highest level of the BBC.
Wow.
Well, I did get a choice of 3 prizes. I could either win a mini color TV, like a little portable TV, which I didn't need because I had a Game Gear with a TV tuner, a portable CD player, which I already had, or a Game Boy, and I did not have a Game Boy, so that got me my first ever Game Boy, and it was the see-through one, and it had Tetris with it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Anyway, thought you didn't.
You've been on so many different shows, and
if you don't apply, you don't get on.
It's mental.
Yeah.
Absolutely mental.
Exactly.
The best thing I've got, and I wish we were prepared for this, was I applied for a competition in Games Master magazine. I sent you the link.
Oh yeah.
To these, which is amazing. But I didn't know this was going to happen tonight, so I haven't got the files up. But we had to create our own video game.
Yeah.
For it, and we did an awesome thing. And next week we're going to chat about it.
Okay.
Because I want to give it its full attention, and then I want to post up the PDF which was sent to me, so everyone can see it as well. Because I'm still proud of the work that was put in. I think. And the fun thing is, he sent it me because he listens to the actual show. He lives in America now. But my mate Steve listens to the show, and apparently we were talking about like a few months back about if we were making a game, this is what I would do. And he sent me over the PDF going, you'll get a kick out of this. I found it in the loft, and this is the game you'd make. I was like,
I can't believe he still had it.
Yeah. It's amazing. He's literally digitized it and put it on his thing, along with the book one of my other mates was going to write. There's so many fun things. But those are what I will go into next week. I think we should just take it in turns, do childhood random memory segments.
Well, it is. I mean, I think I've already told you this story where a couple of months ago I applied to go on the Circle.
Yes.
Oh well, I know you did it a couple of years ago. Have you applied again?
No, it was last year. About 6 months ago I applied to go on, and I got a response back saying, not this time, but if you want to go on Naked Attraction, we can make that happen.
I got the exact same thing. So I showed it Ash, and I was like, you know how I was looking about going on the Circle? And she was like, yeah. I went, yeah, I got told I couldn't go on that, but Naked Attraction, if I want to go on that, I can. But one of our mates has been on Naked Attraction. And the thing is, he's such a sound guy, but it's so hard being out. So our mate Nat, who you've met as well, Sean, she's lovely. Her fella, Adam. And me and Ash watch Naked Attraction all the time. Well, not all the time, but when it's on, we'll watch it.
It's one of my favourite shows.
We watch it and we always have a giggle. And you'd never ever think, oh, my mate's been on that. And it's so hard now to not go, just watch it one more time, just to see. just want to, just out of curiosity. But we were out in Chester, and there was a load of girls like, oh my God, he's from Naked Attraction. And you could see Nat was getting well pissed off with it. But he was like, oh God, this is awkward. I'm out with a girlfriend and they know what my cock looked like anyway. This is just really bizarre. But yeah, and he was saying that they don't give you any time to flop it or anything before the thing comes up. So it's literally like it or lump it. There's no prep work for your goods, so that actually looks all right on telly. It's just like, here you go, stand in this really cold box for an hour while we get all the setup and everything all sorted, and then they turn the lights on so they can see if you're playing about or whatnot. So he said it's just quite awkward.
That's crazy.
So yeah.
So he was picked. He wasn't the picker.
No, he was in the box.
What colour box was he?
Red, I think it was.
It's such a bizarre show. I love the whole concept of it. It's just like, oh, right, let's have a look at their feet. Right, what do you think of their feet? Do you think their feet are attractive?
Yeah, do you like feet?
Yeah, I like feet. I really like his toes. He's got some distance.
Have you got your own feet? We're going to get to see your feet later.
Yeah. It's just bizarre. And the woman presenting it.
And then an infographic where 9 out of 10 people actually have feet.
I love it now if the next episode is unfortunately, Paul was in an accident. He doesn't have feet anymore. Do you like feet? Stop rubbing it in.
Generally, women find men 10% more attractive when they do have feet. And then a little cartoon animation of feet.
It's just their attempt at making it, not just about the fact that there's naked people on TV. It is no, here is some actual science. Look, this is a really serious, important show.
Although, can we please just dedicate a YouTube show to just Sean doing infographics and just random things? Because your voiceover for infographics is amazing.
I mean,
so that would just be genius.
It's worrying that's kind of my job now. The other week I did a voiceover for the telephone systems, saying that we're not taking any calls anymore and you've got to raise a ticket a different way. And it was so funny. You've seen Community, right? You know that episode where they're trying to leave Abed a message and they keep leaving a voice message over and over again and changing their tone? That was me doing this voice recorded. It was one paragraph of text. It was only a 20-second long audio piece. Took me 4 hours. There were 50 takes.
Wow.
I know. I had to lie and be like, sorry, I took lunch in between. I didn't. I was starving. I did it the whole time.
That's twice as many takes as the podcast usually takes to record. That's crazy.
I don't know. With you guys, I'm pretty relaxed, but when I'm actually getting paid to do it, it's like I should probably put in some effort. And what's annoying is the fact that the first one was fine. So, like, yeah.
Yeah, you just used the first one.
It got to the point where it's like, we're doing it live.
Yeah. Did the words just lose all meaning?
Every single one of them in the combination that they were in didn't make sense.
Well, it's like doing in 64, isn't it? Like we can chat about this and we can have the exact full-on conversation about everything we want to do, but the minute that you have that thing that you just know is, I don't know why.
I really enjoyed doing 64, the Nintendo one.
Then do more.
I think I did more. Quite well as well.
Do more.
All right.
Thank you. Oh dear.
We should.
Yes.
We should. And we should. The annoying thing is there was loads of stuff I could have done, and now it's like, oh, we'll talk about it on the pod. And now we've talked for so long, we won't be able to talk about it on the pod. So maybe next week.
What do you need from me?
We've still got approximately 5 minutes, guys, before we hit an hour.
I don't know what you want. Just go to bed.
Oh, right, I thought you talked to us. Yeah. We're like, we've already said more in 64.
Yeah. But
what do you want?
He's being a nightmare. Like, it's just. I've got the house set up so he doesn't need me for anything now. I've got an automatic feeder. He gets fed twice a day. Keep his biscuits topped up. He's got the smart cat flap. He can come and go as he pleases. But every now and again, he's like, Sean. I'm like, what? And he's like, doesn't matter. And then I'll go to bed.
For some reason, I just went back to the thought of you on Naked Attraction, and to the feet, specifically the feet, and they reveal your feet, and they're just like, oh, look at him, he's got a little one-up mushroom from Super Mario. What do you think of that? Do you like that? She's like, yeah, no, not really.
Yeah. So Sarah, do you like tattoos? No.
No, I bet they will. Like, oh yeah, I love a good tattoo, and then yours appears. Well, yeah, look at me. You're there waving your right foot around under the under the reveal thing. Look at it. Look.
Women are 95% not attracted to man children. In the voiceover.
And it's just you just talking.
Yeah.
You're doing your own voiceover. Anyway, sorry. What did you want to talk about, Reg?
There's loads I wanted to talk about, to be honest. The main thing was the Resi 8 or Resident Evil Village, I think. And also, did you know?
But which?
Yeah, she's massive. And to be fair, quite creepy.
Yeah.
So they've done her really, really well. But I love. I wasn't sure how I felt about the game when they first announced it. So I was like, werewolves, like vampires. I know they have zombies in Resident Evil, so it's not like that far fetched. You're supposed to have werewolves and shit in it, but it just didn't feel like it had the right atmosphere when you start mentioning that sort of stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling this at all. And then when they launched that trailer and the showcase with the information about it, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm in. Like, not only am I in, I'm balls deep in on this. Like, it just looks visually stunning. The atmosphere looks.
Men are 95% more attractive to women who are balls deep in.
Yes, that is a very accurate fact.
I wish that could be the intro, but
I think we had the intro before you did the intro. So the bit just before you said, "Hey, welcome to this week's." That bit, I can't remember what it was now, but I just remember going, "That's the intro clip."
Fair enough. I'll have a listen.
Well, talking about intros, I'm going to go and play Fortnite.
How's that an intro?
I mean, it's the opposite of an intro.
It's an outro. It means you're leaving.
Yeah, but right. Okay, I tell you what. Next week we'll talk about Resident Evil Village, seeing as I was halfway through talking about it.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Like, you know what?
All right.
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
Because there's a whole like at least 15-bit section I want to talk about.
Fair enough.
So it's all good. We'll leave it till next week.
Sounds reasonable.
You can go play your Fortnite, Sean.
Sorry.
Yeah, go and do your Fortnite dances on TikTok.
I need to get more of them.
Got to get them likes. And I hope you've now put a link to NerdOD in your bio.
I'm called Nod Steve, so yeah.
People still aren't going to have a clue what that is.
I know. It's fine. Listen, we've got a Discord now. We just need to invite people to it. We've got it all set up.
Yes, you do.
I mean...
You created it. You're the one that wants to do it.
I've been busy. Do you have any idea how busy I am?
Yes, 9 to 5, I can imagine.
Oh, dear.
Anyway. I feel like that is that, because like you say, if we start talking about anything else, we're going to be going forever. So let's save it.
I'm up for that.
So thank you everyone for listening. Please keep an eye out on Friday for the next episode of Nerdo D&D, which is a rather interesting episode because some rather mischievous character comes along and really messes with us, and to the point where I still don't actually know what is going to happen.
I don't really know what's going on, if I'm honest.
No, but in a really good way. Yeah. It's so interesting. We really overthink things too much, but at the same time, that makes it super entertaining. So yeah, thank you for watching, and thank you guys for joining me.
It's a pleasure as always for having us.
As always. Cool. Same time next week. See you.
Bye.
Toodles.